Face upscaling is here, and it's already better than it has any right to be. Using a site like MyHeritage or a mobile app like Remini, you can transform just a handful of pixels into a half-decent representation of the person that it's meant to be. And when the source image is already half-decent, the results can be uncannily lifelike. So good, in fact, that the only way I can tell it's been upscaled is by how the faces look better than everything else around them. But I can hardly blame the app for that. But it isn't just about upscaling these days, and the mobile app, Faceapp, proves to be a very capable face changer. Here I am being me, and here I am run through the Faceapp to make me smile. It has kept my lips, but has shifted them into a smile shape, and it's wrinkled around the eyes and changed the shape and position of my nose and ears. It's not perfect, but it's so close you wouldn't have noticed that the image had been manipulated unless shown the before picture. The biggest problem I can see with it is that the image compression used turns everything slightly green. It's not too much of a problem if we only change the image once, but in this video I'll be doing it a lot more times than that in an attempt to find the limitations of this technology. Slowly, over time, the smile gets bigger, the eyes more crushed, and the image greener because compression artifacts. This is as far as it gets before the app starts to struggle. It then mistakes the area above my teeth as being a mouth, and creates a new mouth above that one. Eventually the effect gets so extreme that it can no longer find a face in the image. Before I start again, let's just make my hair longer and then turn myself into a child. You're welcome. Another effect is to make me look older, and it gives me the full works. More blemishes on the skin, a saggier neck, thinner, paler lips, smaller eyes and bigger ears. It's nice to know the app doesn't think I'll lose my hair. And I will say now, this app is very cruel to anybody showing even the slightest hint of hair loss. The second aging layer still looks convincing, sagging my skin and making my eyes look really sunken and floppy. And it has finally changed my hair, making it wispier and thinner in appearance. Beyond the second aging, I've become a sad husk of my former self, until it can no longer identify me as a person anymore. Let's go back a few stages, give myself a beard, and then make me smile. I got a hat for Christmas, and then I was asked to take a picture of myself wearing it, so I took this flattering shot. What if I grow my beard? It adds more hair and for some reason makes it darker. Apply the filter again and it grows longer and wispier still. But then we run into the limits. It refuses to extend beyond a certain length, then simply becomes thicker and squarer in shape, then proceeds to swallow up my mouth and then to eat away at my face, until it no longer sees it as a face anymore. That's horrifying. I also got a shirt for Christmas. Here's me wearing it. And here's me after too many mince pies. And you get the drill by now. What if I make my nose bigger? And perhaps the most impressive transformation. What if I was a woman? And then a man again. Then a woman. Slowly my head gets bigger and more anime-like until it no longer thinks I'm either gender, or even a person. And I'm very green. And last, I wanted to see if it was possible to return to how I was before. So I made myself old. Very old. Then a child. It didn't really work, looks like a botched plastic surgery. So I gave myself a sex change, tried to hide the artifacts with hair and glasses, another sex change, then miraculously, giving myself more glasses seemed to fix everything. Removing them again gave me a lazy eye. Then I added a smile, some aging, then made myself a child again, and then lastly some mild aging and a beard. So not quite my former self, but not too bad. But it isn't me anymore. At that point, I felt I'd made it about as good as I could have hoped for before I turned too green. This app is great fun to mess about with and free to use for these basic effects. The app isn't without controversy. I can't speak for the company or its intentions, but training neural networks on pre-existing data is going to open them up to all sorts of biases and issues, and several of the transformations were seen as racist and were removed from the program. And of course, you have to give the company permission to use your face. And it's all calculated on their servers, probably somewhere in Russia. I did most of the stuff in this video while bored on a train, and I did notice it stopped working whenever I lost signal, so it is in constant contact with the company's servers. Now, personally, I don't mind a company using my face, because it's already plastered all over the internet, and people who are going to misuse it are going to misuse it, and because I can't foresee all of the horrible ways in which my information will be misused in the coming years. But you might want to read through these terms and conditions to decide whether you want your face being used, and maybe ask others before running their faces through this program. I checked out the terms of service and it gets rated D, with A being the best. But then Reddit, Facebook, Amazon and YouTube all get an E, so your rights have probably been severely compromised already.